Alright, how's it going? I've just been messing around with this Yamaha XVS1100 thing, and partway through making a video about cutting the frame and raking it and stretching it, you know, try and make it look cool and undo all the flipping horrible shit that Yamaha did. And I thought I'd make a separate video about stretching the forks rather than have like a 2-hour video with just 4 welds. So got the stock front end here off the Yamaha. It's unknown to me. The whole bike only cost me 200 quid, so it's probably knackered. But I've got a pack of new seals, some dust seals. I don't know how long the forks are going to end up oversized, but I don't understand what everyone means when they say they've got 4-inch over, 6-inch over, whatever. I've never paid any attention to that. I just always go with what looks good. Right, so I've got these, I think the Honda forks, probably off an NX as I remember, but I've had them for a long time, and I'm just using what I've got lying around to nail this thing together with no money. So I'm going to take the stock legs out, and we call that 4-inch over fridge because that's the height of my fridge. I think by the time we're finished we're going to be somewhere like 6 or 8-inch over fridge. So that's going to be a scale. I'm going to tape measure. I've got a stick here, but you know, yeah, that's 95 mil. So we start at 95 mil. Whatever it's over 95 mil when we're finished over fridge, that's our oversize. So I'll go on there, the Uga gun, and I've got to upgrade some of the seals and got some new bushes on there. And I'll just start ripping it apart and show you how I do it. I'm not going to say this is an educational video because believe me, don't copy me. Right? I am a flipping idiot and I'm just messing around, knocking this stuff together. So just use this as entertainment purposes, okay? Go ahead. Okay, I've got a couple of bits lined up here now. First thing, I've got a ripped up oil can to catch whatever comes out of here. I've got one of these hex bit sets from, well, in UK it's Alfords. If you're in America it'll be Harbour Freight. Well familiar with their garbage, it's just the same as Alfords. But you know, for our purposes, most of the time it works okay and it's disposable. Machima Uga. If you haven't got one of these, you can stick a broomstick down the end and jam it, but these are like 100 quid. You know, you will use them more than once. Once you've got one, you'll find you use it every week. Yeah, so with the damper bolts up the bottom there, I always find a little trick with these is, before you undo it, tighten it, and then undo it. You know, like, you've seen your mates struggle for hours and hours to get that bolt out. That's my best tip. If you're watching this video and you've got an expensive bike, well, chances are if you're watching this video you haven't got an expensive bike. Obviously you can see I've got that thing just gripped in by the brake caliper hanger brackets there in the vice. There's no padding or anything on there. Maybe you want to pad that up a bit because obviously we just put a bit of violence through there. But you know, that's pretty labour free, and we're just sitting here now. I'm going to get a beer and watch that drain out for a little while, and then I'll start taking the thing apart in a second. Most of the oil's gone out of there now, so just get a little screwdriver and get this little dust seal out the way. Be careful not to scratch the stanchion, because if your forks are any good, which I think these are, you'll actually be able to put these on you know, that website that we sell all our junk on, and sell them to somebody that actually needs them for their original purpose. get in there and fish the circlip out. Put that somewhere close by where we can lose it in a minute. And then we need a blow lamp. Because we took the damper bolt out the end, this is free now. That'll come all the way up. But because the seal's pressed in there and it's real tight, if you're ever taking it out, your seal isn't going back in. So it's sacrificial anyway. I'll just soften it a load. Don't worry if it goes on fire, it will just be a bit of oil, especially if you've got if you've had a leaking fork seal. It probably will go on fire. You know, that all counts to our carbon footprint, doesn't it? Because that's a competition, I think. Should be able to use this like a slide hammer. Just get it out. She's bleeding. That little guy out of there. Next little job is, I won't bother recording it, take this bit outside and we'll wash that out with some petrol. Just get any residue that's stuck in there out. I mean, this one does seem pretty good, to be fair, considering it's been outside in the street for 7 years. It does seem to be in really good order. So far so good. We'll call that a win for a minute. Now with the right. Now for the next bit. Well, that's drying off down there. The original stanchion and damper assembly and spring and all that you've took out. Get that in the, well, I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. I mean, this is the way I'm doing it because, this is what I'm dealing with. Normally, if you've got the bike still in front of you, you can use the yokes to clamp the fork and undo this fella there, which is way easier. But, being as it's like June and it was a long time since Christmas, we're running out of last year's socks and underpants in this shed, so we're down to our last sock, I think, and we grip the stanchion and the vice there, stop it getting damaged, and we're just going to kind of like, we'll just try and do it in a one. Normally you can get it with, this one's a 22 on the end, normally you get it with the old tyre fitter's hand, but being that I don't want it to spin around on the last sock too many times, I'm just going to go for broke and just smack it with the old ball peen and hope that this nut comes undone without it turning in the sock. Okay, turns out we won that battle. Now, this is where you might be playing shed roulette because we never know how much pressure's on these springs. So we might get a funny video here, but on the other hand, we might just be able to catch it. That fella there is important because we're putting longer stanchions in. We're going to have to compare the length of the stanchion with the new guy compared to the old guy, and whatever that difference is there, we're going to have to space that guy out the same amount when we put it back together. So he's important. Let me put that somewhere where it won't get covered in crap. Nice. Now what comes out of here is the washer that goes on the end of that tube. We just pull those, and the spring. Obviously a little more oil because you always get a bit more oil. We're going to keep the springs the same because if Yamaha thought they were okay, I'm alright with that, and it looks like they're progressive spring anyway, so that's pretty cool. Store that somewhere, we're going to lose it. Seal off in the bin. We need bush and the washer going back in. This is for eBay, and this thing here, that's going back in. Right, with a few of these bits cleaned up now, and I've prepared a couple of other bits, I've changed a couple of things. We're using the original Yamaha spring. The spacer tube we've extended by what I think the amount that the fork's going to be extended by longer. The rebound spring I've swapped out. I've fitted a slightly shorter one on there because I had it and it fitted the recipe that I've got for all the bits and pieces that I've lying around. So there's the damper and the rebound spring fitted back in there. Send the old spring back down there. And there's that washer. We need the washer that goes on top of the spring. Give that a little wipe off because I forgot to prepare that before I press play on the video. Send that fella in there. There you go, you landed. Put that in there, and now we're going to try and force that fella back on there so we can get the nut on. So I'll just grab the old sock and we'll set that back up over there again. Okay, that's in as tight as I want it. As you see, that's padded out with the sock, so we're not going to damage anything. And we've got the nut off the Honda stanchion to push down on this. This one's a 17mm spanner, so you can watch while I struggle to try and get this thread started. Oh, there we go. Sometimes that takes about 5 goes to get it, but we got it fairly easily there. Don't be surprised if that takes longer, but I just made that look too easy, it wasn't. Nice. So let's give that a wipe down and get it out of here. So spring and damper and everything's back together. So we've swapped out this plastic Yamaha cap for this. I think it might actually be Yamaha, but swapped it out for this alley one. And I think that's all I need to do before I drop this fella live one over the top of it. Hopefully the new bush is nice and tight on there like that. And we can find the bolt, like the damper, put the damper rod back in the middle, if she'll go, send the bolt back down there and just nip it up a little bit. Won't tighten that right yet because it wouldn't be the first time I've had to take it all apart again. But for now, yeah, it doesn't feel terrible. We're part way to having something that looks like a fork leg again. Only about, I think it might work out 6.5 inches longer. So we're going to get the ingredients to put the seal back in now. And I'll need to dig out some tools to knock it in with to make that as easy as possible. Got a bottle of fork oil here in case we end up finishing the job. Yeah, I'll just go and get that and we'll put them bits back in line. Guys, hopefully we're getting towards the finish line of this little debacle now. As I say, I was just going to go and get a tool. I couldn't find the drift to knock the seal in, so I had to go over the lathe there and just make one quickly. So I kind of forgot what I'm up to a little bit, but basically we're going to put the seal, the bush and the washer and all that in. So the order of assembly is, let's put that there so you can see it is bush down first, top bush in first. That won't go all the way home, so you need to get this, the washer that goes between the bush and the seal, send that in, and then with our little fitting tool, should just be able to rattle that bush in there now. Top had a noise when she's all the way down. That looks good. Right, and we get our new oil seal there. Without opening that new bottle of oil, I've just got a little cap full of a bottle of, I've got already opened on top of the lathe there, of some unknown mixture of fork oil weights. Just do that inside now. Be careful when you're putting it on because this is where you knacker up your new seal. If your stanchion has got any kind of pits on whatsoever, don't bother trying, it will fail. If there's any rust holes, and even if you flatten them off, it'll leak again. You'll just, it's like putting a razor blade down your new oil seal. So just abandon that and go and get another fork stanchion. I know they ain't cheap, but there's ways and means, you know what I mean? Let's put that out the way because I don't really want to spill it all over the place. Get that guy started off. When this goes all the way in, you'll hear the noise change. That sounded pretty good to me. I'll call that a job. We'll say that's resealed and get our circlet, which we've cleaned it up okay. Just give that a little wipe. Send that guy down there. And it shouldn't need too much persuasion to get that in. It's not like that strong on it. make sure that that does land in its groove properly, because obviously when you're bouncing down the road there is a bit of pressure behind that. But yeah, we're looking good there. That's all in, nice and clean. Bad job. And new dust seal. Just to be super fancy. Put all new parts on this scabby leg. We're not too worried, because we might get that part of course eventually. We've just got to find out whether this bike works or not. Alright, so with that sorted, your favourite sock. Oh, you're getting attached to it now, aren't you? I'll do the old shed roulette again. This time we can take out the light if it goes bing. Because this is a homemade concoction of bits and pieces that we found on the roof and on the floor and lying around. Just gonna have a little look at that. 1 litre, so we'll just go on, drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. That's 700, oh sorry, 300. $400. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nearly 5. That's half a bottle. Right, so we know for the next leg that bottle's just measured for the next leg, because we don't know what we're doing and we're making it up as we go. That's it, I've got it. Alright, so that's airtight, all tight now. That feels pretty good. So now, wipe the little excess off there. Got 1 extended fork leg, 1 more to do. I won't bother recording the second one because you don't need to see the same job twice. But just as a comparison, I'll go and get it. I'll move the fridge out the way. That's the difference. So, good 6 inches more. Easy. 150mm thereabouts. So, again, got to go and get the rest of this bike, weld it back together and then make this long front end, make it look cool. So watch out for that video. I've started making it already, but I stopped to do this one because I figured that would be a better standalone video. But if you want to see more of this Yamaha getting chopped up and remade, then just give us a little like and a subscribe. Ask me any questions. I'll try and answer you as best I can. Not that I know what I'm doing, I'm making it up as I go along, but so are you. So keep it between the dishes.